Howdy everyone, protaku82 here. Welcome to an updated version of my video game collection. Now I'm going to be showing you a collection of games from either Atari, Nintendo, Sega, etc, etc, etc. So I'm going to start out with the Atari consoles, starting with the 2600. So let's get started. First I'm going to show you my only two complete in box games. Junior Pac-Man. No doubt the hardest Pac-Man ever made. I can't even get past the first or second mazes. That's how hard this is. And California Games. Graphics are pretty much advanced, especially since it's in the later years of the 2600. One of the games that pretty much raised the bar for that particular console. It's a pretty fun game. Okay, from this point on, it's cartridge only, so let's get started. First, 3D Tic-Tac-Toe. The text and picture label variation versions. Good tic-tac-toe game, but the computer always tried to win. Cool thing about the 2600 is there's so many label variations of same game. The Activision Decalathon, or however that word is pronounced. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce that word. Basically, Activision's take on the Olympics. It looks like. Right. Adventure. The Atari and Sears label variations. The Atari picture version, and the Sears text label version. Pretty fun, unique game where you have to, where this little dot tries to face a dragon. The Adventures of Tron. This is the MTV re-release of the M Network version. M Network is actually Mattel Electronics in disguise. Look at this cartridge. It's just nothing but the end label. Basically, it looks like a television cartridge with a 2600 like end stuck to it. A lot of these are ports and then television versions, by the way. Air Raiders, another white label MTV re-release. Air Sea Battle. The text and picture label variations. One of the earliest released games for the 2600. Basically, just go around shooting planes and other things. There's even a shooting gallery, according to the text label. Armor Ambush. Basically, it's like an advanced version of Combat in some ways. Okay. Asteroids. The Atari picture and Sears text label variations. Astro Blast. This is actually a port of the Intellivision game Astro Smash. Can't get the game to work properly anymore like I used to. I can't even move the cannon. Atari Age Holiday Greens 2007, aka Stella Stocking. Number 220. This is actually a limited edition that was sold at the Atari Age site at one point. I think it got briefly re-released sans the numbered versions. Pretty unique holiday homebrew game. Atlantis. This is the nighttime label version. There are other versions of this game, including a daytime label and a non-picture one. Barnstorming. Pretty fun game where you play as this plane going through barns and avoiding other obstacles. Oh, there are other games too, like Stunt Pilot and whatnot. Basketball. Basically, it's what it is, just basketball. Battlezone. Pretty fun FPS type game where you're this tank shooting other tanks and stuff. It's a pretty challenging game. Graphics look pretty good for 2600 standards. Berserk. Breakout. This is one of the many games that you have to use the PAL controllers for. And this is a pretty fun game where you're trying to break through a bunch of blocks. Pretty good. Bowling. The blue and red text label variations. Pretty decent early bowling game. Boxing. This is the blue label re-release. This is when Activision decided to cut costs and switch from picture labels to these type of labels. Pretty plain looking label, but what can you do? Canyon Bomber. This is yet another PAL control game. Casino. This is yet another PAL control game. This is one of those gambling type games. Hence the name. Centipede. A good port of the arcade classic of the same name. Pretty fun game. It's even more funner if you have the trackball to this though, but you can still use the joystick and it'll still be pretty fun. Championship Soccer. This will actually turn into Pele Soccer later on. And the original label is missing, so I made my own. Circus. Sorry about that. Circus. This is actually the Sears version of the original Atari game Circus Atari, which is what I'm going to be showing you next. Circus Atari. Now, this is kind of like Breakout, only you're a guy shooting off a seesaw of sorts, breaking these square-shaped balloons. And I forgot to mention it's a PAL control game, by the way. Combat. The original packing game of the 2600. There's probably thousands upon thousands of these copies. Text and picture label variations. Basically, your tanks and planes shooting against each other. Cosmic Arc. Defender. Both Atari and Sears versions. Pretty decent port of the arcade game. Defender 2. This was actually originally called Stargate, but I heard because of legal reasons they have to change it to this title. Demon Attack. And I think we're just about out of time for this part. Stay tuned for part 2 as I show more classic 2600 goodness.